Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. Well, this right here was supposed to be a live draft. We're supposed to be streaming it, but things got mixed up, so we got like 2 or 3 picks in. Stuff was not working like it was supposed to. I was confused, so we just went ahead, cut it, and now we're going to review the draft picks post-draft, obviously. We are going to combine this with another league that was auto-drafted, and there's nothing we can do about that. It's how it's been every year. So the first team we're going to get to is the Vince McMahon Football Club. Coincidentally, both of these leagues are with my fraternity brothers. So when I was in college, I was in a fraternity, and these are some of the brothers and some of their families and family friends and so on and so forth. So it's nice to be able to have some bragging rights. These are fun leagues, and when we were in college, we were in these leagues. So it's been a while. I'm not going to date myself, but it's been a while. So let's go ahead and get to this. I do want to go ahead and start with the quarterback, Dak Prescott. Actually, the first thing I should do is tell you about the keepers. So I had 3 keepers in this league. And the funny thing is, in this league, the Vince McMahon Football Club League, the guy who's the commissioner, if you do not pick your keepers, you are automatically assigned like your defense and your kicker. If you have 2 kickers, you get 2. Or like your worst player. So say you had like a handcuff to a running back last season who got hurt or something like that. I don't know. And you still had him on your team for a championship or playoffs or whatever. Well, that would then be your guy, or a guy that was like hurt or retired or something like that. So, I had 3 keepers as we talked about before. So Travis Etienne Jr. was one of my draft keepers, and I wanted to keep him because he can catch out of the backfield, and he's on an offense that has improved. Obviously, T-Law has improved. He's got a few more weapons around him, and the emergence of Evan Ingram stretches the field even more. And if you see him down there a little bit, just a little bit of ways, you'll see more of what I'm going to talk about. My next keeper was Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams can also catch out of the backfield. He had a ton of production last year, and with less, in my opinion, less competition this year because he's proven himself, I think Kyren Williams is going to be a good pick. Now, you might say, oh, well, they drafted Blake Corum. Right, and he's a cheater, and I don't like him, so I hope he fails. In any case, my third keeper was A.J. Brown. Prolific offense. Yes, they have Devontae Smith, but Jalen Hurts knows who to go to. A.J. Brown is going to be phenomenal this year. So let's get to the starters. Otherwise, the rest of the team. Dak Prescott, as you know, I'm a Washington Redskins fan. But, I mean, Dak's got a lot of weapons. He doesn't have as good of a running back anymore, but I guess that's why they're going to bring in Deuce Vaughn and Rico Dowdell to be the pass down backs. But he has Jake Ferguson at tight end. He's got some guy named C.D. Lamb. He's got 14 other wide receivers that can do good stuff. So feel good about that. We also picked Mike Williams. Now, these aren't in any particular order. Obviously, as you see Puka Nacua right there. I did not pick Mike Williams over Puka Nacua. But Mike Williams, I think he's going to be decent this year. He's got a... Don't remain apart for saying this. I think he's got a better quarterback than he did in San Diego or Los Angeles or wherever the Chargers are now. I think he's got a better quarterback in Aaron Rodgers if he can stay healthy. And other than Garrett Wilson, who's going to take the receptions away from Mike Williams. Yes, I do know they have Conklin at tight end, but I don't see him being a vital part of that offense. So, Mike Williams. Puka Nacua, obviously you see him. I think he's going to be great. I love this little spiel right here. After week 1, he was just 1.6% owned, and then it just skyrocketed. So I think he's going to do good, still having that rapport, bringing in a little bit more confidence from Matthew Stafford, who you can't see it now, but we might have Matthew Stafford as well. I feel like Nacua is still going to be doing good. A.J. Brown, like we talked about before. Trey McBride. Now, you might see I have McBride, Laporta, and Ingram. I love me the position of having reliable underbelly type red zone targets. Trey McBride can stretch the field. Laporta, obviously, he did pretty well last year. And Evan Ingram now does not have to worry about like 2 or 3 of the top receivers who were in Jacksonville last year. So he is going to be bringing in a ton of receptions. Yes, Etienne is going to do well also, but I think that Ingram and T-Law are going to be great together. Laporta obviously has proven himself, and Trey McBride, he's going to be the go-to for Kyler. Defense, the Lions. I think they're going to be good. Jake Moody is one of my kickers. This is a super, super deep league. So you can see it was kind of getting down to the nitty gritty. So now on the bench, Rashid Shaheed. There's not really a whole lot going on in New Orleans, in my opinion, outside of Chris Olave. So Shaheed is going to get some looks. He may not be number 1 receiver. I mean, he's not. Olave is. But he's going to get some attention from Derek Carr or whoever they end up having at quarterback in New Orleans. Next, Jerome Ford. He's going to be the top back for at least the first 4 weeks. Obviously, Nick Chubb's still going to be recovering, but Jerome Ford can run. He can catch. I don't know if he can throw, and I really don't care if he can throw as long as he can get yardage. Romeo Doubs. I know it's Dobbs. I just like to say the name's funny. So Romeo Doubs. He's like a 3rd or 4th option on the team. Unfortunately, behind Christian Walker, or Watson, not Walker. I'm not a fan of Christian Watson. My go-to is Jaden Reed. That's who I would really want on this Packers offense, but had to settle for Romeo Doubs. I know, but I'm calling him Doubs. Trey Benson. I really wanted Connor, but James Conner was already selected, so I think Trey Benson is a really good handcuff. Because given Connor's age, his injury history, and the fact that, I mean, other than Marvin Harrison Jr., which hasn't established himself yet, obviously he's a rookie, Trey Benson is going to be the next go-to option outside of McBride, of course. So Trey McBride and then Trey Benson. Matthew Stafford. I grabbed him because, I mean, why not? You know, there were 21 picks. There's like 10 or 12 people in this league, so good Lord, there are a lot of picks. So Stafford, not the same bye week as Dak. I think he's going to do well. He's got good connection. If he can get the tight end from, I think, Stanford. I think he's a 2nd or 3rd year. Now that Higbee is still recovering, I think if Stafford can start hitting the underbelly option, along with obviously Kyron Williams, and I hope Blake Cheater-Corum fails. But I hope Stafford continues to connect with Puka Nacua, obviously. Texans defense. I mean, why not? Fairbairn. Yeah, the city down in Georgia of the Pandas, right? Fairbairn. Anyway, he's another kicker. Not the same bye week as Moody, so I think he's going to do well. A high-scoring offense. Both of them. Josh Downs, he is going to be probably 2nd or 3rd option behind Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor. Richardson should be able to hit him, but I really don't have a lot of confidence in Richardson, so that's why he was like one of my last picks. Jamal Williams is literally just a handcuff. I love Jamal Williams when he was in Detroit. They let him go. That sucks. But yeah, I was saying, okay, Alvin Kamara going to be out last year, so Williams going to take over. No, he didn't. The only thing helping Williams now is Kendre Miller recovering from an injury. Still recovering from an injury, so he'll likely be released. And then Geno Smith. Yeah, you might be wondering, why do you have 3 quarterbacks? One, there are 21 picks in this draft, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. There were no more running backs that I had even interest in, so there you go. Yeah, I feel good about a lot of these picks. I definitely feel like had there not been some confusion, I would have known a little bit more of what I was doing with what I was going. Because you had the first round. You're supposed to have 3 keepers, like we talked about. I had the first round pick, but I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna have the next round like nothing's different. Well, then it like skipped me, and then I got to pick 3rd round. So I don't know. I really don't know what all was going on there. which is why we had to stop the live. But in any case, this is the team for the Vince McMahon Football Club. And now we're back to talk about the Deranged Easterbunny team, which is on a different platform, so I had to get ready for that. We will go over this like we talked about before. This was all auto-picked. And so I did go in and say who I did not want to be considered. So got rid of Jefferson, got rid of Devontae Adams. I don't know why I started there. Got rid of what I should have done is got rid of the Chicago wide receivers, but we'll see how about, how that goes. Should have gotten rid of New England players as well. But again, we'll go for this. Quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Definitely a great way to start out. Very happy with that pick. Obviously picked up another weapon in Stephon Diggs. I'm not a real big fan of Stephon Diggs, but I like the fact that along with Tank Dell, you now have Stephon Diggs. You now have... I like Schultz at tight end. I think he's pretty good. And I'm blanking on the third wide receiver. Holy cow. But anyway, you have three really strong options out there at wide receiver. You have a decent tight end. You have an okay run game as well. Next, A.J. Brown. You will see quite a bit of overlap with this. A.J. Brown, I think, is going to be great with the Eagles again. His chemistry with Jalen Hurts, pretty great. Puka Nacua. Speaks for itself. He had a great season last year, and I think he's going to do it again this year. David Montgomery. This guy right here should vulture touchdowns. Now, in another league, I did trade him away and was able to get someone else, but we'll talk about that next week when we go over week 1 results. But David Montgomery, I think he's going to be able to vulture touchdowns from Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery's not the pass catcher. He is the ground and pound type of guy. Next, Jerome Ford, he's going to be on the field and be the top guy for at least the first 4 weeks in Cleveland. Now, I don't know how much longer it's going to take for Chubb to recover, but I think he's going to be fine. Now, I do want to say Jerome Ford was actually a pickup because we'll get to some of the others. Other draft picks here in just a second, but I did want to say Jerome Ford was a ad drop. Trying to think. I'll show that here in just a second, but I did want to clarify that. Next, we're going to go to Travis Kelce. Not a big Travis Kelce fan. Not saying he's not good, but I think he's overrated. He's good. He is real good, but I'm not a fan of him. But in any case, he's on my team. I hope he does well. We'll see how it goes. Jaden Reed, we talked about him previously with the Vince McMahon Football Club. Really like Jaden Reed. I think he's going to be the go-to for Jordan Love. Going down just a tad bit, Ramondre Stevenson. I don't think he's going to do well at all because he is in New England and they don't have anything nice. DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, 2 Chicago wide receivers. I'm not really big fans of these guys. Now, they might do well. And, I mean, for my sake, I hope they do. But I would not have selected these guys had it been up to me for pick purposes. Jared Goff, I think he's going to be a great backup to C.J. Stroud. He's got weapons there in Detroit, and he's going to be able to get the ball out to them. And obviously, great ground and pound and pass catching out of the backfield with Montgomery and Gibbs. Austin Eckler, as a Washington Redskins fan, I like this. I want to like this, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in it because we've had decent pass catchers out of the backfield. I think the last great one we had... Now, this is going to definitely date myself. Rock Cartwright. I think Rock Cartwright did great at the backfield. Liddell Betts did pretty well also. But Rock Cartwright was my boy. So, I'll date myself. Eckler, if he can stay healthy, if he can help Daniels with just those dump-offs and the screens and the Texas routes, or what I call them the center beaters, he should be a great asset, not only Daniels, more so Daniels than fantasy. Then we have the quarterback tight end duo of Taysom Hill. I'm super excited about him this year. Not because I really necessarily think I'm going to play him a whole lot, but just because I like that he has the option to play quarterback or tight end. This is another grab from the waiver wire, Jonathan Brooks. Big Texas fan, so I hope he does well in North Carolina. Moving on down, Young Ho Koo, he is the kicker for the Falcons. I don't know how excited I am. I'm going to probably give it a week or two, maybe 3, I don't know, to see what Kirk Cousins can do with that team and if he's going to really unleash Kyle Pitts and see, hey, let people see, this guy is actually good. Baltimore defense, Marcus Jones as their defensive independent player. Now you might be thinking, why do you have Marcus Jones as an independent defensive player? Well, because this league counts return yards. And if Marcus Jones is going to return kicks and punts, I'm going to get points off of that. Now, if he's not the starting kick or punt returner I'll probably be switching to somebody else. As mentioned before, I wanted to show you the adds and drops for this particular team already. The ad of Jerome Ford came at the expense, loss, delete, rejection, drop of the Chicago Bears defense, and then we also added Jonathan Brooks because he could go on our IR, and I'll probably keep in, hopefully he's able to come back and do decently well, because again, I'm a big Texas fan. I want to see him do well. And that's going to do it for the Vince McMahon Football Club and the Deranged Easterbunny Fantasy Football Team recaps. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I was able to help you make some decisions for your fantasy teams and your drafts that you have coming up. Make sure to tune in every week, likely Tuesdays, probably Wednesdays, and we will be talking about the recaps of my teams, the adds and drops, just like we're doing for baseball now. So if you're a baseball fan, head on over there to the channel. Make sure you're watching some of those recaps, and hopefully we will get to a championship together. This is Jake Cake, and I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.